All right, let's talk about something that's probably scared the daylights out of a lot of us. You know that heart-stopping moment when a blaring siren and a frozen screen just take over your computer. It feels like a complete catastrophe. But what if I told you the fix is literally just 30 seconds away? Today, we're going to turn that panic into power. So let's paint a picture, right? You're just casually browsing the web, maybe doing some shopping, minding your own business, and then bam, out of nowhere, your whole world is flashing lights and noise. It's loud, it's aggressive, and it's designed to make you feel completely trapped. I mean, really, look at this. What would you do if this thing took over your entire screen? You've got this blaring siren, a scary robotic voice telling you you're infected with a virus, and the little X to close the window. Poof, it's gone. Your first instinct is probably to freak out, right? Well, that's the whole point. That's exactly what these scammers are counting on. And that really is their secret weapon. See, this isn't some brilliant, sophisticated hack. Nope, it's just psychological warfare, plain and simple. All those loud noises, the bright flashing colors, it's all designed to just overload your senses, bypass your logical brain, and send you straight into panic mode.
Okay, so how do we beat them at their own game? Well, it all starts with understanding what's really going on. Because believe it or not, behind all that scary stuff is a surprisingly simple little trick. So let's pull back the curtain and see how it really works.
This whole thing has a name, browser hijacking. And I really want you to focus on that first word, browser. This scam is happening inside your web browser, your Chrome, your Safari, whatever you use. It has not infected your entire computer. And that distinction, well, it's everything. It means you're just dealing with a bad website, not some horrible system-destroying virus. So how do they pull off this grand illusion? Honestly, it's kind of basic. They use a simple web command to force your browser into full screen mode. That's why the exit buttons seem to disappear. Then they just use a tiny bit of code to play an audio file on a loop for that awful siren. And to make it all look legit, they just steal a Microsoft or Apple logo and slap it on there. That's it. It's all just smoke and mirrors. Okay, let's put these things side by side because this is super important. A real security alert from a company like Microsoft or Apple will never, and I mean never, give you a 1-800 number to call. It's not going to scream at you. The real stuff works quietly in the background. But the scam, it's loud, it demands you call them, it asks for remote access. All of these are giant red flags. Honestly, if you can just remember the differences on this chart, you're pretty much untouchable. All right, you've seen the trick. Now for the fun part, the takedown. I'm going to show you a super simple 3-step process that gets you out of this mess in like 30 seconds flat. This is how you take back control. And I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. Treat it like a smoke alarm that goes off when you're making toast. Yeah, it's startling, it's loud, it's annoying, but you don't call the fire department, you just open a window or wave a towel at it. It's an inconvenience, not a disaster. And that is exactly what this computer siren is. Okay, here is your game plan. 3 simple steps. Step 1, and seriously do this first, mute your computer. Just kill the sound. You can't think straight with that racket going on. Step 2, end the program. Remember, it's just your web browser. And step 3, if all else fails, this is your ultimate escape hatch, a hard reboot. But let's zoom in on step 2, because that's usually all you'll ever need. And it's so easy. It's just a keyboard shortcut. If you're on a Windows machine, you hit that classic combo, Control-Alt-Delete. That brings up the task manager. Just find your browser in the list, Chrome, Edge, whatever, and click End Task. Boom, gone. If you're on a Mac, it's Command-Option-Escape. Same deal. Find the browser, click Force Quit. The second you do it, that scary screen just vanishes. It's that fast. So you might be wondering, why go through all this trouble just to scare me? Well, it's because the scare tactic is just the setup. The real scam, the real danger, only kicks into gear if you do what they tell you to do. And if you take away nothing else from this, please let it be this. The pop-up itself is harmless. It can't hurt your computer. The actual scam doesn't even start until the moment you pick up your phone and call that number. That's like opening your front door and personally inviting the con artist inside. Because the second you call, their whole goal is to talk you into installing software that lets them control your computer from thousands of miles away. Once they're in, they can see everything, your personal files, your passwords, and yep, your online banking. They'll also try to sell you completely useless protection plans or trick you with these crazy refund scams. And that useless protection plan? We're not talking about a few bucks here. They will often try to hit you for around $499 for a so-called lifetime subscription to a security service that is 100% fake. It does absolutely nothing. They are just banking on your panic to make a very quick, very dirty profit. So let's bring it all home. The moment you understand how this trick works, you've already won. It's a huge mental shift, right? You go from being the potential victim to being the person who is completely in control of the situation. So again, the number one thing to burn into your memory is this. That whole scary, loud, flashing screen is nothing more than a cheap carnival trick. It's a digital illusion. It has zero power to harm your computer, unless you're the one who gives it power by calling that number. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Now that you know the simple game plan, mute, force quit, reboot, what is this thing really? Is it a devastating computer emergency that's going to ruin your entire day? Or is it just a 30-second inconvenience? You know the answer. And that means the power is all yours.